Yeah, this is just Ask Momo here on Bass Musician Magazine, and we are now going to the next question from a gentleman called Mark Bunton. Mark says, "Hey Momo, while I know that you're a bass master, I also know that you do enormous amounts of voiceover work as well as vocal work with Krila, yourself, and others. What are some good tips on getting to the next level when recording vocals? Any suggestions on doubling tracks, effects, or blending? What would be a valuable morsel of info?" Right on, Mark. Well, this is a good question. I've been working with vocals as one of my main specialty for years now, and there are definitely a few tricks for people out there who are new or even trying to improve what they already know. So here's a few basic things that I think might open up some doors. One, unless you're doing free improv, you really need to know your lyrics really well, so you do not get stuck reading and singing at the same time. Doing this is really going to give you the freedom to concentrate on the true performance and the extra magic that you're going to capture. Two, be prepared to record and capture your very first takes and use those as your main lead vocal. There's something that happens on those very first takes that does not happen on the next ones. And a lot of people will tend to regard those as things that you can just erase. But I swear to God, I tell you, you will want to turn these into your number one tracks to beat, or just accept that these are the grooves that gave you that magic energy, and you're going to need to live with that and move forward. And they're generally going to be pretty killer. I can't tell you how many of the world's most famous tracks were really what they called the ghost vocal that they ended up using as the lead vocal for that song you kept singing over and over again. Three, you gotta stay in key and stay in rhythm, in the pocket. I'm a kind of a key and a rhythm freak, and when you're wearing a pair of headphones and you're singing along with all the parts kind of coming back at you, it's pretty easy to get lost up in the murk factor, and you're listening to everything at once, and then boom, you're really not in the pocket. You gotta feel like you're in there like cement. Another thing that I like to do, and some people don't like it, is record the voice completely dry. A lot of people, they just want to hear a bit of reverb and echo on the playback, even if you're not really recording it. I don't even like to do that, because I believe that if the vocal is bone dry and you're sitting in there and you can hear the rasp and all the attenuations that are coming out of it, from soft to harder and opening up and closing it up, and these are the important parts that you need to capture. And when you're drenched in reverb, I got to tell you, you're really not going to hear and feel that, so you won't be able to work with that as your main conducive thing that gives you that magic vocal vibe. So if you're capable of doing it, practice it, bone dry, and you can add all the reverb and delay and effects you want to after and see what happens. Now let's talk about track doubling for a second. I like to bring the volume down of the track that I'm going to double and pan it, say, completely to the left ear, and then the track that you're recording, bring it completely to the right ear. So now, when you're going to be in there doubling that stuff, what's going to happen is you're going to hear your recorded voice over here and the voice that you're singing over here, and you're going to really be able to gauge back and forth, side to side, until you lock that thing like a flange, and then like it sounds like one voice. This is what you want. Another thing that is mega important and that will really make a difference at the end of the day is enunciation. I really like to make people kind of over-enunciate stuff, because once you kind of lock that into all the kicks, the snares, the drums, and depending on what kind of music you're doing, the clarity of exactly what you're saying and the enunciation that is over-accentuated will usually wind up at a really happy medium in the kind of place that will give you a fantastic vocal. If you really know your vocals, you know how to over-enunciate, you're going to go in there and you're going to be like, wow, it's like having a motor that it's going to rev for you.